Megyn Kelly shows up on PBS to show the left kind of where they went wrong. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. This is where the happy patriots are. Big thing that we do is we study kind of what happened in culture, what caused that Democrat loss, that giant Trump win. Megyn Kelly has really good ideas. I largely agree with her. They're kind of things that we've said before.
The lawfare in general was the biggest turning point. The lawfare was a catastrophic mistake by the Democrats. I mean,
if they say what lawfare is for
trying to criminalize a political battle, trying to go after one's political opponent with criminal charges, and on top of that, civil cases that could ruin a man. Trying to put him in jail was a bridge too far.
That's very interesting. I think the left, it's one thing to call Trump names, even to call him Hitler, call him dictator, say you hate him, whatever. All of culture, making fun of him as this oafish boob. He's Trump, he's terrible, he talks coarse, he cusses, he's whatever. But it's very different to use the criminal justice system to go after him. Now it's like, holy cow, the rubber just hit the road. Like even a Democrat might say, I was all for calling him names, but I didn't want him in prison. That is the more centrist Democrats. It would kind of be like when we said, lock her up to Hillary, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. And then if suddenly she really did end up in an orange jumpsuit, going to prison for life, you might kind of go, this is not a good thing. It might even be justice, but is it really a good thing in America when people have a debate and then suddenly the loser of that election goes to prison? That's what was going to happen to Trump, and I think that really unsettled the American people.
I know that there are going to be a lot of left-leaning Democrats who hate Trump watching this saying, but rule of law, but no one's above the law. And I am here to tell you, even if that's true, and I don't happen to agree that he broke the law at all, but even if it's true, the electorate rejected it out of hand as too much. It made the Democrats look radical. It made the Democrats look like they were the ones who were anti-democratic. It undermined their core argument against Trump on January 6th. They shot themselves in the foot.
So they really did discredit themselves, their whole campaign being Trump is a unique kind of lawbreaker, and then they uniquely persecute an opponent. And I think she's going to go into how it was Mar-a-Lago that she believed was the turning point. I actually think the key icon is the mugshot of Trump. That's when it became real. And he wasn't goofing or smiling. He was very serious, like, America, you're about to go down a tunnel. And there's no return if we go down it. I think that marketing. Now, my question to you can answer this in the chat, is I really do believe that lawfare is what put the emotion and the animation behind Trump. But there's another theory on why the Democrats lost, and that is the border and the economy. I actually don't think the border and the economy were as strong as the lawfare. I think the lawfare and Trump becoming a felon, that is, if Biden took care of the border and the economy, I think he still would have lost if he went after Trump. And it's entirely possible that the Democrats did not prosecute Trump. And even if they had that terrible border and economy, that they might still have won.
And so as the cases started rolling on, the anger on the right and the middle, which is where most of my audience is, grew. And I saw it in my emails, in my comments, in the feedback I got from my audience live on SiriusXM and elsewhere. And the raid kicked it all off. The raid caused people to feel genuinely rageful. We had never seen such a thing. The FBI raided the home of a former president. The FBI staged a photo op in which they placed the documents just so and took photos and then released those photos. As Merrick Garland was up there trying to tell us nothing had been manipulated and we could totally trust them, that this was not politicized. We didn't believe him. We still don't believe him. I'm still angry about it as somebody who is a lawyer and practiced law for 10 years. It was a before and after moment that we now cannot get back.
I agree with her that there was a before and after moment. She says it's the Mar-a-Lago documents. I'm going to make my case against that idea, though, that was the moment. The moment was the Trump mugshot. And here's why. But she's right. The voters, this is when they got rage. Voters did not get rage over the border and the economy. Do you know why? Because up for all of our history, voters are used to having a lot of illegals coming over the border. That was just a kind of normal malaise. Even though it upscaled under Biden, it jumped up through the roof under Biden. It's still, illegals coming over the border was kind of normal rage. Same thing with the economy. We've gone through bad unemployment. We've gone through bad inflation. We've gone through high grocery prices, spikes of it, manipulating money and all that, the Fed. I'm saying that also would not cause enough rage for Trump to win and Biden to lose. What caused the rage, and I do agree with her, that it is that legal moment when Trump became a felon under Fani Willis. Now, here's why I don't believe it's the Mar-a-Lago documents. And it's purely marketing. The Mar-a-Lago documents, that picture that she said, it's true. They set him up. They set up Trump. It was all a lie. Merrick Garland did go out straight-faced, but it didn't penetrate into the culture. It did not, those documents did not penetrate to the cover of People magazine. It didn't make it to Inside Edition and Entertainment Tonight and all the gossip magazines. That picture, that mugshot of Trump went everywhere, out hard. That's why I'm saying that is the true thing, the true icon that pivoted and turned everything that we've never seen before is the mugshot of the president. That's the icon. That's my argument. I'd love to hear if you guys agree with me that mugshot was even more powerful than the Mar-a-Lago documents, the open border, and the bad economy.
Now we've crossed the Rubicon and anything's possible. And if Adam Schiff or Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden winds up facing criminal charges under a Trump administration, I can tell you there are very few Republican voters who will feel sorry for them. They brought it upon themselves. We had never done this before.
And that's the point. We'd never made him into a felon before. That's what's unique about it. And she's right. If we go after the Democrats, we will never put a political opponent of Trump's, make them into a felon. They will. I just don't see it. What candidate? Can you imagine another Democrat candidate? Let's say Kamala Harris. Let's say it's Gavin Newsom. Pick your lefty. I'm just saying, as a matter of self-preservation, no Republican is going to turn Gavin Newsom into a felon. Or if Hillary Clinton ran for office, the last thing because Republicans aren't stupid, that we would not release a mugshot of Hillary Clinton right during a campaign season. That's suicide. You'd actually turn her into a martyr, and her whole side would wake up and we would lose a lot of our public credibility, right, of getting mad at Trump being a felon. So I agree that we have to pursue them. I believe there will be very little sympathy for all these Democrats that we have to go after. I'm just saying, don't go after a political opponent who's running for office.
Hillary Clinton, everyone chanted lock her up in the Republican Party. Trump smiled and waved along with the crowd while they did it. Did he do it? No, as soon as he was elected, he said, no, I'm not doing that. That was rhetoric in the wake of the campaign and during the campaign. Only Joe Biden, only Merrick Garland, and the Democrats, from Fani Willis up to Alvin Bragg and others, thought this was an okay line to cross in the United States of America. We made it almost 250 years without doing this to a president. And let me tell you, it wasn't because no president had ever come close to the legal line. We understood as a nation, we didn't want to start turning ourselves into a banana republic.
And we almost went down that hole. I will agree with her on that point. You know, it's one thing to use your words and go after a political opponent and say, you're a criminal, you're a felon. I mean every word of that. It does not mean that it is time to roll out the prosecutions on them. The Democrats, for the first time in history, it shows how radical they went. Joe Biden started liking the smell of his own farts. Joe Biden did, Fani Willis. They started believing their own rhetoric. Instead of just saying you're Hitler, they go, wait, he really, really is Hitler. So did someone who tried to shoot him really think he was Hitler. The place, Republicans, we tend to, we'll use that kind of rhetoric. We'll call you scum. We'll call you a criminal. The Democrats were the first to say, we're going to wish it into reality. It's like Oprah with that spoken word, you know, the secret word stuff where you're going to say it so much that they actually believe they can will it into reality. They went too far. They got caught.
And I don't know where this goes from here, but whatever happens, it's their fault.
Yeah, if we go back after them, it is the Democrats' fault. It is not our fault. Yeah, and I do believe there has to be some kind of prosecution so that it never happens again. I don't believe in revenge. I don't think we should ever go as far as the Democrats did, because I really don't want to have Trump spending the next 4 years chasing Democrats instead of just put the pedal to the metal, full speed ahead, reform the government, and save America. How about you guys? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. How far should the GOP go in going after the Democrats that prosecuted Trump? When does something go from justice to revenge? How far is too much and how far is revenge? I'm Doug in exile.